Great day, great people. I pray everything is going well with you on today. Today is Thursday, and we are still running strong in our consecration. I pray that you've been on our prayer calls. I pray that you've been just reading through your proverbial reading plan through the book of Proverbs. And those of you who have been a part of that, you all know that on today, on Thursday, we should have read Proverbs chapter 13 through 18. You should have read Proverbs chapter 13 through 18. And you should have been noting basically the practical advice that is highlighted in those books about everyday life. It talks about work. It talks about speech. It talks about friendships and all of the good things. I kind of sent you guys some Cliff Notes on it. And so as it has become my custom, I just want to share with you on today some of the tips that I learned throughout my reading of chapters 13 through 18. And so yesterday I did 10 things. I'm not going to do as many on today simply because the video went a little longer than I wanted it to go. And so I'm really trying to keep it at 10 minutes because I really want you to enjoy your reading. Okay, so the first thing that stuck out to me that I've highlighted in my notes was Proverbs chapter 13, verse 1, believe it or not. That first verse I highlighted. I'm looking in my Bible now where it says, a wise son heeds his father's instruction, but a mocker does not listen to rebuke. Wow. A wise son heeds his father's instruction, but a mocker does not listen to rebuke. Listen, this verse really highlights the value of being receptive to the wisdom that is given us. A wise person is one who does not just receive correction, but is also one who learns from correction. The wiser I get, the older I get, I actually run to critique. I run towards correction. I run towards it because I've noticed how much foolishness I'm able to avoid because I'm getting good sound correction, good sound advice. And so this verse is really highlighting the fact that, hey, we should heed to our father's instructions, not just our natural fathers, but our spiritual fathers. You should heed to my instructions as your pastor. You should heed, wives, you should heed to the instructions of your husband. Husbands, you should heed to the wise counsel of your wife sometimes. Yeah, that should happen. Children, you should heed to the instruction of your fathers, your natural fathers, your spiritual fathers, those that are in power and have rule over you. Proverbs 15 and 5. This is not one of our verses, but I remember highlighting this just as a supportive verse where it says, the fool spurns a parent's discipline. Yeah, a fool removes it. A fool shuns it. But whoever heeds correction shows prudence. They show that they're smart. They show that they're wise. And so that verse really stood out to me. Let's go on because, again, I will be here all day. So I love the book of Proverbs. Proverbs 14. Proverbs chapter 14, verse 12, excuse me. It says, there is a way. This is the second thing I highlighted. There is a way that seems right to man, but the end, it leads to death. Again, there's a way that appears right to man, that seems right to man, but in the end, it leads to death. Now, this verse to me, I really saw the danger, watch this, of what I call self-deception. Okay, self-deception, and we have to get out of being deceived just because of what we believe, and I think this is right, and it should go like this, and my opinion is this. I think many of us think too highly of our opinion, and I used to be one of those people. That's why now I run towards critique. I run towards wise counsel. I run towards correction because I know that I may think it looks right, but sometimes the end of my thought is death. The result of my wisdom can be death if I'm not being godly. Okay. And so when I'm making moves, I'm seeking godly counsel. And so I just thought that that was very important. Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 9 even reminds us, it says, the heart is deceitful above all things and beyond cure. Who can know it? Who can understand it? In other words, our hearts are so wicked. They are secretly wicked. You will wickedness, shows up wearing missionaries' clothes. It shows up wearing good clothes. I often say evil likes to play dress up, and it looks like good. It shows up looking like good. And so our hearts are so evil that sometimes the thoughts and the feelings that resonate from our hearts, it seems like it's a good thing, but y'all, it can be a bad thing. Okay, we're 5 minutes in. I want to keep it going. Let's keep it going. I told you I got so much I would love to share. If you go down just a few verses, Proverbs chapter 14, verse 29 was another one I highlighted. It says, a patient man has great understanding, but a quick-tempered man displays folly or foolishness. Okay, we need to know that it is folly. A quick-tempered man displays folly. What is this verse saying, Pastor? This verse is telling us that the displayment of patience is really a sign of wisdom and understanding. Okay. The proverbial writer is really associating anyone with a quick temper, anyone who is flying off at the mouth. You know, we've all done it. I've done it. You've done it. Your mama's done it. Everybody's done it. But being quick tempered is really it's really a sign of foolishness, right? And it's emphasizing, watch this, the inability of controlling your emotions, and it's emphasizing not having emotional intelligence, okay? And so what we want to make sure that we do as good Christians and good wise Christians and good people of God, we want to make sure that we show patience. Patience does not mean that you got to tolerate in and everything, but patience does mean that you don't fly off the handle. I like to oftentimes remind myself of this. There should only be certain people who matter enough for me to get out of character. Yeah, I'm gonna say that again. There should only be a select few people in your life who matter enough for you to get out of character. Everybody is not worth you risking your reputation. That's a word from God right there. That's a word from God. Wise man once said, don't argue with fools because people far away can't tell who's who. All right. Next thing I pointed out, we're at 7 minutes and 56 seconds. I think we're doing good. Was Proverbs chapter 15, verse 1. Something about the first verses in these chapters that really have been standing out to me. Verse 1 says, a gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. A gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word, I'm slowing down on purpose, a harsh word stirs up anger. Watch this. This verse shows you the power of words, right? And how our words have the ability to either promote conflict or resolve conflict. It shows us how our words can be gasoline on the fire, or it can be water on the fire, right? And so what we want to do is we want to make sure that we're following that Ephesians model, where in Ephesians 4, it tells us to be kind and compassionate to one another, all right? We want to make sure that we're following that, because a lot of times we like to give harsh words. Why? Because we just received harsh words. And we want to respond to foolishness with foolishness. And then we get into the contest of who can be the most crazy. And that's not good for anybody. So that passage really stuck out to me. I pray that it was a blessing to you. All right, if you could go down to verse 22. Verse 22, same chapter. It says, plans fail. This was so powerful to me. Plans fail for lack of counsel. Ooh. But with many advisors, they succeed. seed. Okay, so what is that saying? That is letting us know that there is safety again in a multitude of counsel. You really want good counsel. Now, you don't want to have so much counsel where you become double-minded, right? Because the Bible also tells us that a double-minded man is what? Unstable in all of his ways. But we do want to seek sound advice. This is why mentorships are important. This is why having a spiritual father is important. This is why having a pastor and a covering is important. That's why making yourself known to the different elders and evangelists in our church. That's important, because you want to be able to go to people and get sound Christian advice. And you also want people to be praying with you for godly wisdom so that you can establish the plans that God has placed in your heart in the earth. Okay, that is important. Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's go from there. All right. So next, let's travel to chapter 17. I'm almost done. Chapter 17, and we're going to go to chapter 17, and I believe it was verse 17. Okay. Chapter 17, verse 17. There it is. It's on the screen. It says, oh, this was so good to me. Yeah, this is one of my favorite ones. It says, a friend loves at all times. All right. And a brother is born for adversity. I'm going to read it again. A friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for adversity. My God, I really begin to reflect on people who are close to me in my life. When I read that particular passage, it shows how true friendship and loyalty run hand in hand. And your loyalty isn't displayed during good times. Your loyalty isn't displayed when I got a pocket full of money and everything's going well for me and I get 100 likes on social media. Your loyalty is displayed during tough times, during hard times, during critical moments. And so I love that particular passage of scripture, because it's letting us know that your friends should love you at all times. They love you. They might not like you, but they love you at all times. But always remember your brothers and your sisters, those who are closer to you. I call them family. Those people who blood wouldn't make you any closer. Listen, you need to cherish those people, because those people are born for your adversity. Don't run the people off who are going to be there with you when the chips are down. Okay. Don't run the people off who are going to be there with you when things aren't going the way you would like them to go. There's an old interview that's out there, and I believe it was with I want to say Nina Simone and the famous actor. I cannot think of his name, but she was interviewing him, and she told him, she said, listen, I don't want the worst of you. She said, why do your enemies get the best of you, but I get the worst of you? You go to work and you grin at a boss all day that you don't like. You go to work and you pretend to like people that you can't stand, but then you come home to me and you don't pretend. You don't pretend. You are constantly giving me the worst part of you. Listen, don't do that to your brothers. Don't do that to your sisters, because remember, those are the people who are going to be there when the chips are down, when the odds are stacked against you. Those are the people who are going to be praying when everyone else is turning their back on you. All right. And so let's make sure we treat those people kindly and with care. All right. And if you drop down just a few more verses, all right, I'm almost done. It says, to have a fool for a son brings grief. Children, hear me. Children, hear me. To have a fool for a son brings grief. I'm going to add, to have a fool for a daughter brings grief as well. There is no joy for the father of a fool. Listen, I'm going to stop there, but this verse is clear. Listen, you want to bring your parents joy. Okay. The way that you bring them joy is displaying the things that they have wrote. If you remember reading in Proverbs, there are some verses that I recall that say, son, forget not my law. Okay. It says, write them on the tables of thine heart. Okay. That's in Proverbs. It's telling you, don't forget the words of your parents. Don't forget the wisdom of your parents. That wisdom, even if it was a do as I say, not as I do. Yeah, that wisdom is what makes them proud when you display that. And so there's no joy in us being foolish for our parents. Our parents want to see us win. They want to see us win. I tell men this, and I'm closing. I tell men this. I said, there are only two men in the world that will applaud you when you go further than them. And that is your natural father and your spiritual father. Okay. There are two people in the world that will applaud another man. There are two men in the world that will applaud you when you go further, faster, get richer, do better, have a better family life, become more educated, surpass them. There's only two men that are really going to be genuinely happy for you. And that is your spiritual father and your natural father. Listen, the word of God for the people of God, thanks be unto God. I am over my time again, but there's so much richness in this book. I told you it is my favorite book of the Bible. And I think there is not another book that would be better to be reading at the beginning of the year. We're getting wisdom. We're downloading wisdom. Listen, make sure you're on the prayer calls. Make sure you're dialing in at 12 noon and at 6:40. We are almost done. It's Thursday, y'all. It's almost over. I'm telling you, and I believe God is going to continue to show us an outpour. Listen, we're already getting testimonies. I've told some of the testimonies already. We're already getting them. I'm just ecstatic about all that God is doing. Take care. I'll see you same time tomorrow. God bless you. Giving you some more wisdom and instruction about what we pulled out of Proverbs. I hope this is being a help to you. God bless you. Matter of fact, let us know this is helping you. Text us. Let me know. Let us know. 984-237-3040. Just say, Pastor, the videos are helping me. Or I love the videos. Or Pastor, I hate the videos. Or they're too long. Let me know. Again, I don't want to use bandwidth where it's not needed. So let me know that you are appreciating these. God bless you. I love you. Take care. Be blessed. And I'll see you tomorrow. Same time.